pressure.
Well,
I get the sense that you don't actually experience pressure from external factors as I think most people listening, and myself included, would expect, but you rather internalize that and place it on yourself. Is that fair?
yeah, that's
Because the thought of me, I mean, you saying you'd rather, I mean, doing stand-up is terrifying. But for you to say you actually think you would rather do a one-man show with morph suits or even a mime without words so it can be globally applicable is so far beyond that in terms of, oh my goodness, how on earth can I cope with the pressure of all these people in the room? That's leagues beyond. But to you, that seems very natural. Whereas I know that the pressure that you put on yourself with metrics and the bit of a hole you found yourself in previously, where you were really, you were essentially ascribing your self-worth based on the algorithm of social media platforms.
100%.
Talk us through the pressure that you feel on a day-to-day basis and how it's changed in the sort of past 12 months.
Yeah. So you asked me this earlier on as well. You're like, do you have a content strategy? And the honest answer is no. I press post and then it's a blank canvas. I start again and I go, right, what's next? And I feel so lucky if I have 2 videos in the locker. I feel like I speak to a lot of creators, like Paulo Lima, worked with him, lovely bloke. He said to me, he was like, I get stressed if I don't have like a week and a half of content ready to go at any point. So he could go on holiday and then just have 7 days of posts while he's abroad, already ready to go, just press post. They're all drafts. I'm never in that position because I like to wait out ideas, and I'd rather wait until a good idea comes to me than try and force them. But when you do have those limbo periods where there's like 2 weeks of like dryness and you're listening to these like mental health podcasts or these like self-improvement podcasts, they're all like, oh, the best creative times are when you go on a walk. And then I'm literally like going on a walk with no music, trying to think of an idea. And it doesn't work. And then you're like, nothing works. Or like the best ideas come to you in a shower. And I have like a 300-pound energy bill for like 2 days because I'm just like burning my skin in the shower trying to think of a video. So those are the most pressure-inducing moments, are when you feel like you haven't got ideas. But I just try to keep reminding myself that I've been in this position before and it worked out. I had an idea and the video went well. But there was a murky period, especially summer last year, where, again, off the back of getting this engagement that I didn't expect to get, were these like fluctuations of these dopamine hits that I honestly did get addicted to. I was like on a come down the day after posting when I would get like 1,000 likes at like 3,000 followers. I was like, oh my God, like it was unbelievable. And people DMing me being like, bro, your engagement's massive. I go to the gym, people are like, mate, your engagement's crazy. It's so crazy. So then I felt like I was this engagement guy. I was like, I had to keep this engagement. How do I? And then it got to my head so much that I was no longer thinking of the concept of videos or the punchlines of jokes or how my performance felt in the moment or how it looked on videos. And I was only thinking of that applause, that double tap from someone's finger that I probably will never meet. And then, yeah, it got very rough where it was just the vanity metrics were all that I cared about, which was end gaming every single video, which was not why I began. And it's only really until recently where I put on some weight and no one mentioned it. No one said like, you're looking chubby or anything. I like objectively wasn't chubby. I was just fluffier than I was comfortable being. And I didn't like myself. I didn't like how I looked in the mirror. And my videos, and then my videos just started to like, what I was telling myself is, if I let my body image slide, I have more time to focus on videos. So if I stop training a little bit, if I pump the brakes on training, it gives me 2 more days of thinking of ideas and bringing videos to life. When in reality, it was totally counterintuitive. I was missing sessions, which played with my mind. And then I was in my own head thinking, oh God, I feel a bit like flubby, and right, think of an idea. And then I put pressure on myself thinking, right, well, I've allocated myself this time, so I have to think of an idea in this time. And then I would think of rubbish ideas, and sometimes the videos wouldn't do very well. And I'd spend like until 12 p.m. with my ex-girlfriend in Wit, waiting for the cleaner to leave, 12 a.m., sorry, midnight, filming sketches with multiple costumes, and they get like 600 likes. And because I was so used to getting 1,000 likes on videos that felt like it was just for fun, um, I was starting to worry that I was losing it. And then in recent times, I've just gone, right, I'm unhappy with how I look. Let's focus on training, and then hopefully the rest sorts itself out. And hopefully my followers that are engaged with me understand that this break is for my mental headspace as well as my physical. Um,
What was the comeback video?
uh, there wasn't one individual comeback video, um, but like I did 2 videos on holiday and they both went viral, and I was like, and that was me relaxing. I wasn't even stressing. I was just again with my family having fun, and I was like, I need to constantly remind myself when I do feel that pressure. And there, I get voice notes all the time from people that are around the same following level. They go, I constantly feel burnt out. I constantly feel this. But the difficulty with them and the mistake that they're making, and the mistake that I always remind them is, it's because they're following the traditional influencer trajectory and content plan of, I've got cellulite, my mental health. Here's a black and white photo. Here's a snatch tutorial that I've done before, but I'm going to do it with a microphone on my neck in a busy gym because everyone else is doing that. They're doing videos they feel they should be doing because they're seeing a lot of, but it couldn't be further from the truth. They just need to stick to what they're doing, and they don't have to announce if they're taking 2 weeks off. They don't have to do a post saying, I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm dealing with some mental health issues. Just take those 2 weeks yourself, come back and see how you feel. It might be a month. You might literally need, like you said, with your training, you have to take basically 4 months off before you felt like,
It's almost 6. Like genuinely,
yeah, 6 months.
almost 6 months for me to really feel like I'm getting my mojo back.
Yeah.
And the frustration loop I found myself in there is that training is what I do.
Mm.
Training is a part of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Training is what allows me to create content. If I'm not training effectively, if I don't have my abilities as an athlete,
Mm-hmm.
then there's nothing really interesting for me to talk about.
Yeah.
And then I sort of pull myself into more desk work.
Yeah.
And I'm always have been very driven, very always on. I enjoy working. I enjoy being head down
Mm-hmm.
at the expense of other things. I've sacrificed a lot of things for a lot of years for the charity projects. Charity projects. I've had comments over the years that have irked me because I've had people being like, "Oh, it'd be cool if you could donate some of your own money." It cost me £14,500 to raise 100 grand personally. Back when I was earning 32 grand a year.
Yeah.
For example. And that was because it was, like you said, it was passion driven. But then I got to a point where I couldn't see a way forwards from Project Vertical that would not really damage my own mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where things have become more focused on the athletic side of things, with the separation with the podcast like this and the public speaking, all the stuff I do separately. Having that boundary has made it much easier for me to process and know what's good for me and what's bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
But with content, I don't plan things much because I actually don't enjoy the process of creating content that's created for the sake of good content, unless it's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's such a, like, you get to share a narrative, you get to give people information, you get to give them a story, you get to show them places, you get to do things on YouTube. And I enjoy that. And Ed, who's sitting in the room, helps plan them out, and we enjoy the process of doing that. But we both find ourselves some days turning up to shoot something and we just got so much other stuff going on. I was like,
yeah,
don't want to do this. And then I've had to essentially mentally deprioritize any sort of creative, well, not creative, but any sort of real strategic thought about Instagram, other than what do I want to talk about, post that, and any growth that comes, great.
Exactly. But that's I think that's super transparent when as a consumer of your content, when I see that, I think consumers, especially on social media, have got much more savvy in their understanding of influencers and content creators, especially during COVID. Like, everyone's on their phone all day, every day. Everyone during COVID was doing workout videos in their garden. Post that, and now everyone's like, I think everyone can read between the lines a lot clearer than they used to. And I feel it's so obvious when someone's doing something for likes or doing something because they enjoy doing it. And a lot of these influencers try trends or try these lip syncs or copy a style of someone else's video because they got likes. And it's just super transparent. It's not because they enjoy doing it and they're not having fun. They're doing it because they saw another account with a similar demographic get a lot of engagement. Um, but as a consumer of loads of social media, we can see that and we know what you're doing. So just stick with what you're passionate with, and hopefully the rest does itself, like works itself out. And that's passionately what I need to keep reminding myself is a lot of the time when I try and be clever or try and be engaging, they don't do as well. But if I just focus on the story and just focus on the jokes that make me laugh, my mum laugh, my brother and sister laugh, they're normally the ones that bang, uh, which is reassuring to know that my impulse is in the right place. And I just constantly, whenever I feel stressed about not coming up with an idea, I just go, don't go on TikTok and copy someone else's video. Just take a breather. That's going to be more beneficial in the long run than doing something you're unhappy with.